This episode of the Digital Desperados podcast is brought to you by SaferNet VPN, found online at safernet.com.
Hey, welcome to the Digital Desperados podcast featuring dark tales from the web. Patrick McMurphy's here today to tell us our dark tale, and he's joined by Brad Hawkins, founder and CEO of SaferNet. I'm Jim Brangenberg, and I'll serve as your story guide. And just remember, this podcast is brought to you by SaferNet, online at safernet.com. You know, cyber criminals are trying to get into your computer all the time. All the time. Protect your computer. Protect your workplace, your home place, effortlessly with SaferNet. CyberSecurity made simple for businesses and families. It includes a VPN, internet controls, virus protection, plus 84 website filters for a focused online experience. Your safety is SaferNet's priority. Get secured now. Sign up at safernet.com. That's safernet.com. All right, Patrick, which dark tale are you telling us today?
So today, guys, I want to talk about a legendary figure and fugitive in the hacking world. His name is Kevin Mitnick, also known as the Condor. He was extremely skilled at both social engineering and technical hacking. So the Condor, Kevin Mitnick, he was born on August 6, 1963 in California. Kevin had a fairly normal childhood, but he did show a pretty worrying interest in social engineering at a young age. So if you look at Kevin by age 12, he convinced a bus driver to reveal where he could purchase the ticket punch machines. He told the bus driver it was for his school project. And so he went out and bought one, and this allowed him to ride any bus in the greater Los Angeles area for free. He would use transfer slips he found in dumpsters and punch them. So just right off the bat, the guy is socially hacking. And so he went on to attend James Monroe High School in North Hills. He was very interested also in licensed amateur radio. And so he got a license there, and he chose the nickname, the Condor, which is how he got his hacking name, the Condor. It was because he'd watched a movie, I don't know, have you guys seen it, called 3 Days of the Condor, but that's where he got it.
I missed that one. Must have been asleep that week. Something. Did you want to tell us about that movie, Patrick? I mean, 3 Days of the Condor? Don't know.
I mean, if Paramount come to me with a check, I'll talk about their movies, but otherwise.
Okay. All right, you draw the line there. Okay,
fair enough.
Brad, did you see that one?
No, never have. I never even heard of it.
Bummer. Okay, sorry, we don't have the context, so you keep going then.
So, age 16, 1979. This is where the Condor starts technically hacking. And so he gains unauthorized access to something called the ARC. And so the ARC was owned by DEC. Now, DEC are actually not really in business as such anymore. They got absorbed by HP. And so they were developing an operating system called RSTSE, which is one of the very early operating systems. And so we infiltrated that network through social engineering and technical skill. He basically would kind of call in as a network administrator, even though he wasn't. He was a 16-year-old kid. And so he copied the company's software and started selling it on the side. Now, this is obviously, 80s, not a lot of computer crime. The FBI got involved. And so he was convicted for that crime in 1988. He was sentenced to 12 months in prison, followed by 3 years of supervised release. And so once the Condor got out...
How old was he then?
He would have been anywhere around between 16 and 20, I believe. Okay. So a kid, really. A kid has the FBI knocking down his door. Yeah.
No, not to correct you because you're telling the story, but if he was 16 and 79 and got convicted in 1988, he would have been 25.
Oh, yeah. My apologies. You're correct. That's how good at mathematics I am, obviously.
He's on top of it. Yeah. So there's real punishment at that point. So.
Yeah, exactly. And so once he gets out of prison and he's on supervised release, he's not initially doing anything, but toward the end, he decides he's going to start hacking again. And so his first target is Pacific Bell's voicemail computers.
You guys remember those? I mean, I can remember the voices on Pacific Bell's voicemail when you listen to it. They had she had a great voice. I always want to meet the lady that did that stuff. We just need to remind everybody, hey, this podcast is brought to you by SaferNet. We really encourage you to go online to safernet.com, check out all the different things they can do for you. I personally have been using SaferNet for months for not only for our businesses, but personally, what I love is that when I tell SaferNet that I don't want to go to a website because I just don't think I should be going to that website, it blocks it. I can program it to block it. And the other day I was clicking on a link that I thought was a legitimate link, and SaferNet says, yeah, I don't think you want to go there. And it says, don't go there. This is dangerous. I love that about SaferNet. Check it out online, safernet.com. Patrick, back to you.
Yeah, after this hack, anyway, he gets a warrant issued for his arrest again. But Condor says, not this time, guys. So he flees. He becomes a fugitive, and he remains a fugitive from 92 to 95. And so this is really where...
So Patrick, help me understand. You know, everybody seems to have reasons for what they're doing. And we've talked about that on other stories that you've so eloquently brought to us. What is it that you think he was trying to get to in hacking the voicemails? Is he just trying to hear what other people are up to, or was economic value to him?
I think it's a mix. So it's not just voicemails. He was hacking into a lot of stuff at this time, but it's a mix of, he just wants that, you know, that knowledge is power idea. He wants to kind of spread his legend as this hacker. And yeah, there's definitely a financial side to it as well. We'll see later. He gets into a lot more financial stuff, but
so a lot of at least his starting was trying to get a name for himself and maybe a little bit of economic value, but trying to get accolades from his hacking community. And I find that fascinating that's how a lot of these people get started, is just trying to get known for themselves in the hacking community. It's like a community of not buddies, but rivals, but you get accolades for doing it. So anyway, I
mean, it's like that in the hacking community. It's kind of, your name is your currency. So how much is the name the Condor worth in terms of notoriety? And it's trying to build up that reputation within the cyber underworld, I suppose. And so, as I said, so he's fled and he's on the run for nearly 3 years. But this is where it gets very interesting to me. So as a fugitive, he started using false identities. He would create counterfeit IDs, counterfeit social security numbers. He kept hacking during the whole time he was on the run. He was involved in wire fraud. He would sell stolen company software like he would have started out with. He never left electronic traces. He would never use credit cards or cell phones. So the guy he was completely clued in. And this is where the hacking community really started to notice, because the FBI's pursuit intensified, and he became one of the most wanted criminals in the US at the time.
That's back when the FBI used to pursue criminals, you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, got it.
But I mean, if you think about how can you have I suppose their early cybercrime division trying to pursue this guy who doesn't leave an electrical trace. You know, it's nearly impossible. And so,
think about it, even now or today, doing that without a cell phone. I mean, we live on our cell phones, and he's out there just bouncing around, probably a public Wi-Fi's and a laptop or something.
Well, in the mid-90s, there were still payphones.
Yeah. I'm just trying to plug into a cable wherever he could find it.
Yeah.
Real urban hacking stuff. But his hubris kind of does get the better of him, because at the time there's this pretty famous cybersecurity researcher called Tsutomu Shimomura. And so he's Japanese-American. He's a very well-known name in the white hat hacker community. He's a good guy. And so the Condor, he wants to clown him. That's what I'm going to say. He wants to embarrass Shimomura. So what he does is that he hacks into Shimomura's personal computer, and for no other reason, just to say, I hacked into this guy's computer. And so Shimomura takes this with great offense, as you can imagine. I mean, these guys, this is a battle of titans here. You have one of the most notorious hackers at the time, and one of the most notorious cybersecurity guys at the time. And so Shimomura immediately goes to the FBI and says to the FBI, I'm going to assist you in tracking him down. We are going to track down this guy. So Shimomura just has this righteous indignation about him. From hell or high water, he's going to track him down. And so eventually he does. He captures him on, the FBI with Shimomura captured him on February 15th, 1995.
So they let him have his Valentine's date with his girlfriend before they arrested him. Got it. That was nice.
Exactly.
Man, I mean, it's good that they did that. I mean, you know, hey, we'll let him have his date tonight. We'll get him tomorrow. All right. It's important to understand businesses and families. You need to stay secure when you're in the internet, and SaferNet can provide that security. It's so important that you are protecting those that you love and those that you work with. The cloud-connected cybersecurity app SaferNet provides will defend against online security threats effortlessly with their 84 internet filters, and they can help safeguard your data, your devices, and your loved ones. Everywhere I go, I got SaferNet walking with me. Get peace of mind with SaferNet VPN, simplifying your cybersecurity for all of your people, for all of your devices. Sign up at safernet.com. That's safernet.com.
Nice.
So rolling around to 1998, he's captured at this point, and he's facing a lot of charges like wire fraud, unauthorized access to computers. Eventually, he gets about 5 years. He gets sentenced to about 5 years in prison. However, he at this time has the entire hacking community on his side. He's become, as I said earlier, this legend in the hacking community. So there's a huge amount of hacking incidents around the time of his arrest, all related to, we'll say, cyber vandalism. So they hacked, for example, Yahoo, and replaced all the banners with a banner that just says "Free the Condor." So in 1997, you would go around to various websites, and all the banners you would see are "Free the Condor."
Did you check that? Did you verify that point? Did you go out and try to find one of those to see what it looked like?
Yeah, but I broke the time machine on the way back, you know.
Yeah,
so,
right.
And here's the thing, and this kind of just casts light on how little authorities really understood about cybersecurity at the time. So the Condor is sent to 8 months in solitary confinement initially. This is because the law enforcement officials thought that he could start a nuclear war by whistling into a payphone. This is how big this guy's mythos had grown around him, that he could launch nukes with a whistle if there was a payphone on hinge somewhere. So it was, and I mean, if you think about it, this is just kind of around Y2K, so that's the kind of mindset of people you're dealing with. You know, it was panic.
Now, Patrick, was he really that good, or did he just create this persona around him that kind of freaked people out?
He was incredibly gifted, and he was also gifted in creating that persona. So, yeah, to your latter point, he was amazingly talented, but I don't think anyone's that good. You can't start a war with whistles.
So not only is he good at hacking, but he's also very good at marketing, which probably would have been a better career choice.
Absolutely, 100% better career choice, I think.
Which one pays better, though? But when you look at what he really was, he was a great relationship guy.
Exactly.
A good
engineer. So yeah. He knew people. He knew how to work people, and he knew how to kind of change people's views. And so eventually the Condor does get released from prison. And now during his supervised release for the first 3 years, he's only allowed to use a landline telephone. So at this point, they're now aware that he can't start a nuclear war by whistling into a telephone, which is something.
Good to know.
So I think at this point, Condor is, I don't know, has he seen, the damage his crimes have done, but he's kind of sick of prison at this point. So he decides to flip. He starts his own company, basically, called Mitnick Security Consulting. And they kind of want to shine a light on his own case. So, how it tested new computer laws, how it raised public awareness of networks, computer security, things like that. He becomes a cybersecurity consultant as well, public speaker, an author. He founds another company called Know Before. He was a frequent guest at both White Hat and Black Hat conventions. So it's very funny, if you're looking at photos of the Condor online, he's often with these guys smiling, who are on like the FBI's most wanted list.
So wait a minute, they actually have real live in-person Black Hat hacking conventions?
Yeah, DEF CON is the biggest one. It goes on in Las Vegas every year. It's very funny. You're told not to bring your ATM card to it because it nearly immediately, you lose your money immediately walking into the arena. So it's cash only. And people bring burner phones and everything. I would never go. It just sounds like a disaster.
I'm just trying to think. I'm guessing that maybe be infiltrated by some security officials.
Oh, yeah, entirely. But, but yeah, so, I mean, this guy still is, at this point, is still just such a legend that people in the white hat community love him because of all the information he's bringing, and people in the black hat community know him as the fugitive Condor, and they look up to him as a legend. And in fact, his legend was so inspiring to a lot of people that they actually made a movie about it called Track Down, which is about the change between him and Shimomura. And now him and Shimomura have actually met since. They became pretty good friends after his release. I'm sure he apologized for hacking his computer and etc.
Jim, did you catch that movie?
I missed that one too.
Good.
I'll have to say, guys, it's not great. It's not great.
Well, it's good. No, Patrick watched it, so we're okay.
Yeah, it was for research purposes, but yeah, it's I mean, it's interesting historically speaking, but it's a little bit dramatic. It's a bit like that Fugitive film with Harrison Ford. Maybe it kind of oversteps.
I have seen that one multiple times.
Yeah, like there is no scene with Kevin Mitnick jumping out of a dam or anything like that, but they get pretty close. Now, so sadly, the story doesn't end too well. So, the Condor, he did contribute great things to the white hat community, but sadly, July 16th last year, he actually passed away at the age of 59 due to pancreatic cancer. At the time of his death, he was married, and his wife was pregnant with their first child. But yeah, it was a really short but very interesting life for probably the only figure that I know of who is endeared both the white and black hat hacking communities.
So going back to his style of hacking, we talked a little bit about his desire to become a well-known hacker. How did he end up making money through his hacking? What was he doing to generate a cash flow?
The biggest thing during his, especially on the run years, was wire fraud. And secondary to that, he would break into, we'll say, companies that were selling software, SaaS companies, basically. He would break into their systems, steal their software, and then sell it on the black market or kind of legitimately at a discount.
So he was just getting access to code and selling the code.
He would get into their database and then find the compile code, take it, and then sell it as a finished product.
See, he was a wholesaler and a retailer.
Exactly.
Maybe not a wholesaler, but a retailer.
And he got a chance. And he got a chance. He didn't get a chance to be a dad. What I mean, that's just sad. Is with their. I mean, I'm guessing his wife was younger than him when he died, since she.
Oh, yeah, surely, yeah.
Surely, sure. Whatever you do,
which means he had some money.
Oh, for sure. And come on, who wouldn't want to date the legendary Fugitive? Come on.
Because long listen. So, Brad, when you think about how SaferNet would have helped in any of these areas, could SaferNet have helped Shimomura, the guy, the Japanese guy that he attacked? Yeah. How would SaferNet have helped prevent half of these disasters that Condor wreaked on other people?
Well, it really depends on how he was getting into the businesses, and in most cases, somebody will find a weak link with a business. A sales guy that goes to Starbucks and uses his laptop to access the network and never turns on a VPN and never protects himself from the network. And those are easy ways of getting into a network so that then you can crawl through the network and find whatever you want to find. And so it really depends on how they were breaking in. But yes, if a business owner made sure that all of their employees were operating with the proper cybersecurity on every endpoint device or every computer, cell phone, whatever it is, you're going to be much safer than if you're just going rogue and believing that your virus protection is somehow everything you need. So, yes.
You heard it there from the founder of SaferNet. If you had SaferNet, the Condor would have had a lot more difficulty. Maybe that Japanese guy, say his name again for me, Shimomura.
Shimomura.
He should have had SaferNet on his computer.
Absolutely.
Well, you heard it here. The internet and everything digital can have a dark side, but also a bright side, because it seems like these guys play both sides of the aisle. Many dark players out there. It's why you need SaferNet by your side. VPN, antivirus, 84 website filters, and so much more. The ability to track block, allow. It's power at your fingertips and safety everywhere you go. Thanks to SaferNet for supporting our efforts to bring these stories to your ears and giving them the exposure that they need. It's also a lot of fun to talk about them. And for your own security and the security of those you love and those you work with, check out SaferNet.com and get secured today. Till next time, click only on the links that people send you that you trust and delete the rest, or you may become the next victim of a digital desperado.
This episode of the Digital Desperados podcast is brought to you by SaferNet VPN, found online at SaferNet.com.
We have an app for that? What? An app for cybersecurity for all your devices? Are you a business owner concerned about cybersecurity? SaferNet VPN offers the perfect solution. Protect your company and family with a single app. With our cloud-connected cybersecurity platform, enjoy VPN, internet controls, and virus protection. Stay safe online with SaferNet VPN today. Get secured now. Sign up at SaferNet.com. That's SaferNet.com.